In just 2 months, Apple is going to do something it has never done in almost 20 years of making iPhones. Release one that actually folds in half. And based on everything currently leaking out, this is not Apple quietly testing the waters. This is Apple building its most ambitious phone ever, priced to match. Here is everything worth knowing before it happens. Let's start with the name, because Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has been fairly clear on where this slots into Apple's lineup. It is expected to be called the iPhone Ultra, sitting right alongside the Apple Watch Ultra, CarPlay Ultra, and Apple's own Ultra-tier chips. Not just another iPhone model, but Apple's top-tier product line finally getting its own phone. Now the design, because this is genuinely unlike anything Apple has released before. It opens book style into a wide 4:3 aspect ratio, similar to an iPad rather than a typical tall, narrow phone screen. The inner display comes in around 7.8 inches, close to the size of an iPad mini, while the outer display sits around 5.5 inches for quick tasks when the phone is folded shut. That shape is genuinely different from most of the competition too. It is closer in proportions to Huawei's Pura X Max Wide than to Samsung's taller, narrower Galaxy Fold lineup. Here's a detail that has not gotten nearly enough attention yet. Reports suggest the iPhone Ultra could actually use a dual battery system, essentially 2 separate battery cells working together inside the device instead of one large single battery. That approach makes sense for a folding phone, since it lets Apple fit power more efficiently around the hinge and internal components on both sides of the fold. Combined capacity is expected to land somewhere between 5,400 and 5,800 mAh, which would make it the largest battery capacity ever inside an iPhone, and notably bigger than what you get in Samsung's current Galaxy Z Fold 7. The Crease, historically the single biggest complaint about every folding phone ever made, is reportedly one of Apple's biggest engineering wins here. Early reports describe it as remarkably shallow compared to competing foldables, to the point where it may barely be noticeable at all in daily use. Cameras are getting attention too, and one detail genuinely surprised people. YouTuber Vadim Yuriev claimed back in April that the camera modules on the iPhone Ultra could actually be physically larger than the ones on the current iPhone 17 Pro, which is not something you would necessarily expect on a device built to be this thin. Dual 48-megapixel cameras are expected on the back, though a telephoto lens may not make the cut due to space constraints. Now, something worth knowing if you are particular about biometrics. Face ID is reportedly not coming to this device at all. Apple could not shrink the necessary Face ID component small enough to fit 2 separate modules, one for each display, inside a chassis this thin. Instead, Touch ID is returning built directly into the power button, similar to how it already works on the iPad Air and iPad mini. Powering everything is expected to be the A20 chip, and iOS 27 is being built specifically around this device too. Developer beta code shown off at WWDC has all but confirmed software designed around fold states and different folding angles, enabling things like dynamic app resizing between the 2 displays and genuine side-by-side multitasking, something no regular iPhone has ever offered before. Now, the part that genuinely varies depending on which source you trust: the price. Gurman has said the iPhone Ultra will, in his words, cross the $2,000 threshold in the US. Other estimates go even further. Analyst Arthur Liao has floated a starting price as high as $2,399 based purely on material costs for the display and hinge alone, while a separate Chinese source suggested a fully spec'd model could approach 2,900 Uz once you factor in maximum storage. For comparison, Samsung's own Galaxy Z Fold 7 with a full terabyte of storage sits around $2,550. As for actually getting your hands on one, that might take some patience too. Reports suggest only a small initial shipment may be available in mid-autumn, with wider availability not arriving until November, December, or potentially even early 2027. The good news is Nikkei reports Apple has told suppliers to prepare around 10 million units this year, up from an earlier forecast of about 8 million. So there should eventually be enough to go around. Here's the honest picture. A completely new shape for an iPhone, a dual battery system built specifically for folding, the shallowest crease Apple has managed on any prototype yet, and Touch ID instead of Face ID due to how thin this thing actually is. All of it arriving somewhere between $1,999 and potentially $2,900, depending on configuration. So here's the real question. Is Apple's first folding phone worth the wait and the price, or does $2,000 and up feel like too much no matter how impressive the specs are? Let us know in the comments below. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.